I'm guiding you through a shoulder and spine mobility workout with the short variation of the movement stick. I'll have a link in the description below along with a 20% discount code for you. I love the movement stick because it has these rotating grippy spheres, it has some weight to this steel stick, and it has variations, and I love options. So for this workout, we're doing 10 moves, 10 reps per move, and I'm guiding you through the entire time. So let's get to it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, like this video, share it with your friends and family, and be sure to come back to this movement stick playlist for more. You can also check out my stick mobility playlist because I have lots of single stick workouts that would be easily adaptable to the movement stick. So starting with the movement stick already in this variation, go ahead and set that up and just take out that longer stick if you need to. Because we're just going to use this size for our shoulder and spine mobility workout today. Starting standing, feet are about hip width apart. Two hands, one on either one of these balls. I love that they rotate because this already, as you can see, allows for additional shoulder rotation and movement. It's a great opportunity to just kind of really work into the shoulders. So I'm going to start by lifting up overhead. You're squeezing those balls. We're going to bring it down over to one side, drop that top hand down, and now back hand comes forward as top hand goes over your head, and return down, up to the side, come down, back to front. We're going to go the other direction. So up overhead, down like a monkey hang, top hand goes down in front, and now we're going to have front hand comes back behind the head, back hand goes forward, right? You get a little bit of twist when you do this, coming back down, up to the side, and down. So we're really working that overhead movement. We have 9 more on each side. Here we go. Reaching up overhead. If your mobility does not look like mine, totally fine. You're just going to wherever you feel comfortable. So go to your comfortable end range, okay? Coming down, try to get that hand behind the head if you can. Down in front. And now we're going to switch which hand is in front and back. And down. Reaching up, you'll usually notice in this side overhead movement, one side totally opens up way easier than the other. That's normal, that's okay. But just have that awareness and understand which side you might have to work on a little bit more. You usually feel the pull in your armpits a little bit. 2, here we go. Up, pull down to one side. Top hand comes down, we switch. And come down. Up and down. Back to center. Up, pull down, top hand down, switch. Come down. Up, down. Back to center. Up, down. Top hand comes down, now we switch. And this part may be difficult as well, right? If you can't get your hand behind your head, it may be up here. You just go wherever you feel comfortable today. And you'll notice, usually by the end of these 10 reps on each side, that you feel a difference and you're able to get a little bit deeper and potentially bring your hands or arms a little bit higher over your head. Down, up, back to center. Down, down, switch. Down, up, down, center. Up, down, down, switch. Down, up, down, center. Up, down, down, switch. Down, up, down, center. Already, you should be feeling your shoulders waking up, feeling pretty warm. Down, down, switch, down, up, down, center. 5 more on each side. Up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, center, up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, center. So if you need a break, go ahead and take one. There's no requirement that you have to get through 10 in any kind of timeline, but it really helps for me to say the movement out loud, just so I know where I'm going. If you get a little mixed up, that's totally fine too. Up, down to one side, down, switch, down, up, down, center, up, down, down, switch. So you really get to use the ball here to give you an assist and get that hand behind your head. Down, up, down, center. Down, down, switch, down, up, down, center. Up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, center. Here we go, 3 more. Up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, center. Up, down. Already, this can be a lot of work, right? So you just go as high as is comfortable for you. If your hand comes here, that's fine. Down, switch, and allow that hip to push forward. Down, up, down, center. So you'll really notice that my hips end up rotating as I do these movements. Up, down, they stay straight. Here, I'm kind of looking at the balls. Switch, hips are away. Come back down, looking towards the stick, back to center. Up, down, hips are even. And now I look towards the stick. Switch, hips are away from the stick. Down, up, down, center. Last one on each side. Up, down, down. Switch, down, up, down, center. Up, down, down. Switch, down, up, down, center. Whew. Take a moment, take a breath. Already I'm sweating, I'm feeling warm. So you know that just this one kind of little flow is a great beginner way to wake up your shoulders. It's a great little warm up if you're gonna do any kind of lifting or shoulders back day. This is a great option. And it's pretty fun. You definitely get into the sort of Zen movement of the flow. So now we're gonna do sort of a kayak movement. 2 hands, 1 on each ball. You press forward and bring that hand back. Again, I'm trying to get my elbow behind my head. Here. Here. So even though I'm pressing my arm out long, it will come up hopefully behind my head. If you're here, totally fine. You're just not quite getting as much benefit from having your shoulder this open. Just gonna turn to the side to give you a different view. Pressing forward, and then let that other arm straighten out. Press up and forward, let that other arm straighten out. Five more on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm just gonna go to that end to even it out. I'm gonna stay in this position. It never hurts to try things in both directions. So that really felt like we were opening up the shoulders, really getting into that armpit, right, with it wide open. And now I want you to think about swimming down and pushing that hand back as far as it'll go. Push back. If you feel any pops or clicks, totally normal. You may have heard some of mine already because I'm a little bit Rice Krispie, but as long as it's not painful, it's totally fine. So now you can also add in a little bit of rotation in the hips if you want. If you find that you don't have as much shoulder mobility, best to stay in that stance, that even stance where you keep your hips facing forward. I'll come forward to show you. And you can even have a nice soft bend in your knees. And if you keep them facing forward, you're really only allowing the shoulders to open as much as they can, as opposed to when you add that little bit of rotation, now all of a sudden you're creating compensations. So if it feels good for you, go ahead and do it, but also make sure to really see where your shoulder mobility is at. How much is this able to move? Are you able to get that hand that high up and behind you? And allow the stick to, or allow the ball to rotate to give you an assist here. Whew, I'm sure that was 10. Okay, kind of a twist on a classic PT and mobility exercise. I'm gonna take this stick behind our backs. I'll try and move my hair out of the way, and you're gonna hold onto the stick. Depending on your height and, how you do with the weight of this actual stick, you can either hold on to the stick itself, or you can hold on to the balls of the stick. All those spheres, right? So starting completely facing behind you, we know this classic move. A lot of the time you'll have tried it with, you can also do this with a towel if the stick is a little less forgiving for you. So first goal is to get that top hand right about the nape of your neck and just hold on with the bottom hand, right? And now we're going to try and pull up with the top hand and then pull down with the bottom hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. So if this is really simple for you, if you don't find that you're feeling much from it, notice that because there is weight to this stick, it will be a little bit more difficult than, say, using a band or a towel, because just because of the weight. But now we're going to add on to a next level of intensity, and take your time with this. It's about moving slowly and with control. We're going to draw a rectangle. So I'm bringing the stick all the way over to my left shoulder, pulling it up as far as I can, bringing it over to the right, and down, and then back. Up, over, down, back. 3, 4, 5. So, option to keep going there. You can try and do 10 reps all in one direction, but we will be going in the other direction as well for drawing these rectangles. So if you're really feeling it in that shoulder, you have the option of doing the rectangle in both directions, right? Just alternating which way you go. Just showing you kind of from a different angle. So here we go. Going up, down. We have 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. Take a moment. So I did all of those with my right hand on top in one direction. I still have to go the other way. You may notice your wrists getting tired. It is a lot of work. Here we go. Same hand is on top. My right hand is on top. I'm bringing it over to that left shoulder. I'm going down to the other side, up, over, and down. So you might find you get a little bit of a glitch here because your left hand won't be able to go quite as far across your body. Totally fine. You're focused on that top hand doing the work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to change my angle, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then gently bring that forward. Woo! You're definitely going to feel that. We have the whole other side to do though. So, if you need to take a break, make sure that you do. Maybe you start with 5 reps or 3. It really depends on your mobility. And again, you'll totally find that one side is much more able to get to this kind of a position than the other. They're uneven. That's natural. That's kind of how we've lived our lives. So the work that we're doing right now is helping to even ourselves out. But be patient with yourself, be kind and compassionate, because it's going to be different. That's probably just how it is. So left hand on top, right hand on bottom. Trying to get my hair out of the way. Here we go. Starting with those, just pulling up and down. So you can see if I have any differences. So I've had an injury to my left elbow. And again, if that's hard for you, you can always grab onto the actual stick as opposed to holding onto the spheres. You might find it gets a little more rubbing across your body. That's totally fine. That's just part of how it is. Take a breath. Now we're going to add on and do those rectangles. So this time we're going to do the rectangle going alternating, just so you see how that feels, and you can make a judgment for yourself whether you'd rather do 10 alternating or all in one direction, which can be very tiring, and then all in the other direction. You'll really feel the burn that way. Here we go. Left hand is on top, right hand is on bottom. I'm bringing it over to the right shoulder. I go up, over, down, down. Now we're going to go backward. 1. Up, over, down. 2. Up, over, down. Back. 2, 3. 4. Up, over, down, down. I notice that my right side has absolutely no problem getting across my body. Different than my left. Up, over, down, down. 5, 6. Whew. Okay. Left arm really feels the burn. This is a lot of work, especially for this injured elbow. Totally fine now, but this is a good practice for me to be doing more of. We have 4 more here. I just needed a break. So here we go. Left hand is on top. We're bringing it over that right shoulder. Up, over, down, and back, and return. 1, 2, 3, 4, and release. Whew. Shake that out. Okay. Grab some water if you need it. Moving on to, that one definitely feels the burn. So now we're getting into some single arm movements, which again, you'll notice as we do these, your shoulder will get a little tired just because of the weight of the stick. So, feet are planted, hip width apart. You're gonna hold that stick right about in the center, right? You wanna have it nice and even and balanced. One hand, I'm starting with my right hand, and this is inspired by baton twirling. So, you're gonna bring that arm out, and whichever side is the front end, right, towards that thumb, you're going to scoop down and down. Thinking about a nice straight arm. 2, 3, 4. And again, if you want, you can add a little bit more rotation. 5. So you allow your hips to get into this, and you make a little bit more of a scoop. 7. It's always that front side right now. 9. One more. 10. Come back to center. Whew. Take a breath. Switching sides. My left hand is definitely my weaker hand. We'll see how this goes. Because already the right side definitely felt it. Same concept. It's going to be the sphere that's in line with that thumb, right? So if I'm here, we know it's going to be here and here, here and here. Ooh, this feels more difficult for my brain on this side. 3, 4, take your time here. 5, add that little bit of hip rotation. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, coming back to center. Just gonna do a couple shrugs, because that can be a lot in the shoulder as you have that arm up high. Coming back to the right side, we're going to keep our elbow bent this time. And we're doing a twirl. So it's a very similar movement, but now you're gonna think about having both ends of the stick sweep over to each side. You don't have to have your arm out straight. You can bring it in a little bit more so it's bent here, right? I didn't show you those others on this way. Here we go, down, down. 2, really thinking about allowing your wrist to twist. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. By the way, I just keep the other hand behind my back because it helps remind me to stay upright, right? Squeeze the glutes, stay upright. As soon as you start doing this, you're really gonna feel that in your low back later on. So it's just a nice reminder and it gets my arm out of the way. So over to this left side, here we go. I'm just gonna try this. It may not look as pretty, that's okay. down, 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 down. Switch, scoop, scoop, right? Each side is gonna scoop. And then you come over. Scoop, 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 scoop. This one is not as hard for me, actually. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Probably because my arm is bent, so it's a little stronger. Having that arm out really long makes it incredibly intense because that's a lot of weight to hold with just your arm, right? Whew. Nice job. Coming into the home stretch, we have 2 more exercises. So this is a nice little external rotation, getting into that rotator cuff kind of exercise. I'm going to start on my right side, bringing that stick so that it will be kind of up against the outside of my elbow. My hand will gently rest on the sphere, right? So it looks like that. You can hold on with just the sphere if your hands are big enough. You can always hold on at the bottom, and you will be holding on at the bottom with the other hand. So very, very gently. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to hold on really hard here. You're gently going to pull the stick up towards your chest and allow that shoulder to externally rotate, the elbow, the arm, just for a moment, and then swing the stick around, push up and back, and come down. We're on the other side. Woo! Here we go. External rotation, and then swing around, push up, and down, other side. Bring that hand around, external rotation, swing around, boop, up, down to the other side. Here's where it's hard. You're gonna hold on to the bottom ball and then move that hand to the outside. External rotation, only going to as far as you are comfortable. This should not be painful, maybe at the most 10% discomfort. That's all. And then you bring that ball around, push up and back. And over the other side. This is 3. Rotation. And around. Whoop. Up and back. Over the other side. Here we go. Yeah. So you can find the flow in there as you practice. And it becomes really fun, right? As you do this kind of a thing. And around. External rotation. Swing the ball around. Up. Over to the other side. Whoop. Open. Swing around. Up. So when I started doing this, I had a lot of pops and clicks that I don't know if you could have heard, especially in this position when I bring my hand back behind me. And now, there's no more little crunchies. Just from doing this, we've gotten through about 5 reps on each side. So we've got 5 more to go. And around, up and back, over to the other side, hold, switch that grip, external rotation, swing around, push back, over to the other side, external rotation, swing around, push back, other side, open, swing around, push back, whew. Open, swing around, push back. Let's do 2 more. Around, push back. Open, swing around, push back. Last one on each side. Here we go. And you might notice that by the time you get to this 10th rep, you're able to go a little further in your external rotation. You're able to bring that arm back a little further overhead and back to center. Whew. One last move. And this one is really just a feel good, kind of shake it out kind of move. So you're going to bring your feet to about hip width apart, maybe a little more if that's what's comfortable for you. And I want you to think about having a nice soft bend in your knees. And all we're doing is twisting side to side. But you're going to start low, down by the hips. If this feels good, great. And then we're going to walk up the spine. All you're doing is lifting the stick as you twist side to side, coming up to shoulder height at maximum. And then you can go back down. Again, you may get some pops, some clicks, some little adjustments. That's okay as long as it's not painful. Well, belly just make noise too from this twisting. And you go all the way back down. So, if you want, you can keep your hips facing forward and still, and you'll be rotating kind of more like this. Really feel it in the thoracic spine, the upper lumbar even. As you twist, right? Allow those elbows to really bend. And this is keeping those hips facing forward. They're not moving at all. So you maintain that nice soft bend in the knees to keep them from moving. You're still gonna have a soft bend, but now you can allow a little bit of a shift to happen. I'm just gonna turn to give you a different view. Right, still that soft bend. And now allow the hips to open up too. Your arms will get a little longer. They don't need to be bent as much until they get to the end. So both are great options. It's really just about what feels good for you today. And you can play around with it and do either one or both, right? They're both great options. They feel really good, especially after doing all of this work. Just a nice way to kind of move the energy and loosen everything up, especially in the shoulders and the spine. And it's really fun. I kind of can't help but smile as I do this. We'll go one more time, all the way up and down. If you find you get dizzy, you can focus on a point kind of out in front of you and look at those points. Maybe there's one on each side. Depends on whether you're keeping those hips facing forward or not. I do a lot of horse lifts because that also helps relax the jaw whenever your shoulders are getting tight or they're taking on a lot of work and stress. You'll notice you end up doing this. I do at least, maybe you don't, but I do. And so that just helps relax my jaw, reminds me to let go and smile. Thank you so much for being here with me. I had a lot of fun coming up with this workout and showing it to you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a comment, let me know how you got on and whether or not you want to see more of these movement stick workouts. Thank you so much.